What's up? I am here to review the new show on OWN, Ambitions. So we are on the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1, Friends and Lovers. We opened this show to our girl Essence Atkins. I don't know why that's a tongue twister. If you don't know her, she was the older sister on Smart Guy. And yeah, her and a good looking chocolate man are getting it on, getting her booty ate. And then like flips her over, setting the scene, whatever. And she like closes her eyes and says, "I love your hands on me." Skirt, scratch record. He not having it. He like gets off of her and and he like lays down on the bed. She takes that as an invitation to climb on top, and you could just tell by his face he's not into it. And she's like, "What just happened?" He said, "I love your hands on me." Where have I heard that before? So we come to find out his name is Titus and her name is Amara, and she's cheated on Titus before with a man named Damian Collins. And it's just over. That's it. She's like, "I thought we moved here to start over. Like, it was just one time, never gonna happen again. We're here to start our life over and, rekindle our marriage, make it happen." And it was at that point where he was like, "You can't even say his name." "I can. Damian Collins, because it's a name that I will never forget." It's like, okay. And then we have Robin Givens. And she comes into a room with a lady passed out on the bed. And she calls her Tracy. She's like, "Tracy, come on. Mom's going to be furious. You need to get up." Tracy not moving. She's like, "Stop playing." Nothing. Not moving. And Robin comes into the room to like shake her, but she stops because she steps on something and it's a needle. And then she goes to a little bottle on the table and picks it up, and it is called Lumadol. And she's like, "No, you were doing so good." So it makes me feel like she was maybe a drug addict and she did this again and overdosed and killed herself. And so she yells out, "Evan, call 911 to get help." And she's still trying to wake her up, but obviously she's not getting up. This Evan, who I can't remember the actor's name, but if you ever seen what is it called, Stump the Yard, the big brother that was always giving Columbus Short a hard time, him, whatever his name is, sorry, I don't know, and I didn't write it down or look it up or anything like that. So he steps in and says, "It's no use, Stephanie." So we learned that Robin Givens' name on the show is Stephanie. "It's no use. She's dead and you're next." And he like pulls out a gun, and as soon as he goes to shoot it, she wakes up out of her sleep. So come to find out that Evan is her husband. They're married. They have a daughter named Carly. And it's just like a breakfast scene. And come to find out Carly's an actress, trying to do her own thing. And Stephanie wants her to follow in her footsteps, which Stephanie is a lawyer. Carly, she doesn't want to do that. That's not her thing. She's an actress. Yeah. And so then we meet, what is her name? Rondell, who owns a diner called Thelma's Place. And in walks a man named Peters, who appears to be trying to get her to sell her restaurant. She's not selling. He seems like one of those people, like he done came in, done bought up the block. So seems to be the last place that's not selling to him, and he's trying his hardest to get her to sell. It was so weird because she was cutting up what looks to be, I was gonna call it pumpkin pie, will be black people's sweet potato pie. And she's telling me, "If you ever come back, I'll stick this knife so far up your ass," whatever. He walks into the knife and like it pierces him a little bit and he starts bleeding. And he said the thing about threats is you have to be willing to actually go through with it. And it's right then she knew he was crazy. Amora appears to be an FBI agent, I believe. And it looks like what appears to be her boss comes in and says that Evan Why can't I read my own handwriting? Evan Lancaster, who is the mayor, and his cabinet, or at least his cabinet, is involved in alleged money laundering, embezzlement, and it was something else. I can't read my own handwriting, which sucks. And so she asks, does she think the mayor is involved? She wants her to do anything that she can to find out, because come to find out, she went to college with Stephanie and they're sorors, so her boss definitely wants her to take the case. Like, you can get close to her, get close to him, and we can bust them, and this could be the biggest case of our career. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. Let's see. So then we have Stephanie meeting with her father. He owns the big law firm and she works with him, of course, and she's trying to get him to retire so she can take over. And he's like, excuse me, he was like, you would like that, wouldn't you? But I'm not doing that because you're not ready. You're not ready to take over my law firm. You're just a little brat who thinks that I should just hand it over to her, and I'm not doing that. And I'm not ready to retire. Which people in those type of kids, they're never ready. They, excuse me, they spend their entire lives like building up their career. So when it's finally time to let go, they can't. They want to stay there. They're like, I built this. You're not, I'm not just giving it over to you, which is completely understandable. Okay. Oh, and in their argument about her taking over the firm, she's like, I married that bottom feeder because you told me to. She's married to Evan. Evan is the mayor, so she called the mayor a bottom feeder. And she said when she tried to divorce him, her dad told her not to because being the first lady, mayor's first lady, is a good look. And let's see. So then we cut to a scene of a building named Purifoy. Come to find out, it's a pharmaceutical company that sells the Limidol that we saw earlier next to Stephanie's sister. I'm assuming that's her sister. Next to her body. And Titus, like, he's representing that company, so he has to meet up with Stephanie to talk about, you know, litigations and what's gonna happen, whatever. Come to find out, they used to sleep together. Because when they first saw each other again, Titus said, can our old friend get a hug? And Stephanie said, we've been plenty of things. We used to be sex partners. We used to be enemies. But friends is something we have never been. So yeah. And then we find out that Rondell is Evan's sister. And the mayor meets with Peters, telling him, don't ever threaten my sister again. I'll help you get the property and you're gonna help me become the governor. Like, they're working hand in hand together, but don't threaten my family. So what I thought was a dream isn't really a dream. Tracy's really dead, and it appears she did overdose on the Limidol. Gotta make sure I'm saying that right, Limidol. And there's a gala that they're having in like every year. It's for a different charity, but this time it's in memory of Tracy, her sister. And she had a little talk that wasn't really important to her stylist. Her name is Bella. Stephanie's stylist name is Bella. And you know, we see the Lancasters, and then we see Bella walk up with her boyfriend, who is an ex NFL player. Who, he is fine, but his voice was like real pitchy, and I was just like, damn, gonna kill the dream. I don't, man or woman, I do not like high pitched voices because it messes with my ears and it annoys me. So and I was wrong. Amara actually works for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Cause Rondell, she is catering the event. So he walks up messing with her. He's just a scumbag, and it's just like, somebody please get him off of my television. I do not want to see him anymore. So then, who is it? Titus and Amara are there as well. And he introduces Amara to his boss, Purifoy, who introduces his wife, which I think her name was Jen, and then their daughter, whose name was Angel. And then we're gonna cut to, wait, no, the wife, Purifoy's wife, was looking at Titus like, she wants some of that. And then the daughter, she left and like excused herself to the bathroom. So then we see Angel, and then we see Carly, who is Stephanie and Evan's daughter, and they meet up in the bathroom, and they're just talking like, did you really show up? And are we gonna talk about people not telling the truth about what happened? And it appears that Carly is gay, but she hasn't told her family yet, which they're in Atlanta. Would that really be so much of a surprise? Like, in this day and age, she's gay. But the thing that got me though, Angel, when she said that, like, telling the truth, Carly was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Angel, like, licked Carly's lip. I would have punched her. Don't ever just walk up to me and lick my lips, especially you as a white person licking my black lips. Yeah, that wouldn't have turned out the way she thought, because, ugh. Oh yeah, that wasn't revealed till later, I believe, that they're also sorors, but I said it earlier. So if you can see on my notes, I did like a little chart, or trying to connect everybody to each other. So we have Amara married to Titus. Titus used to sleep with Vanessa. I mean, where did I get Vanessa from? I'm thinking about games people play, excuse me. Stephanie. Stephanie is married to Evan, and Evan is, you can tell he's messing around with Bella, because when she walked in with her boyfriend, like, he looked at them then, and then when they're all sitting down at their separate tables, everybody's like looking at each other, catching eyes with each other. So Titus caught eyes with Stephanie, like they're looking at each other, and Amora was looking at Titus, looking at her. And then you see Purifoy's wife, Jen, I'm still not sure if that's her name, looking at Titus. And then you have Angel, who is the daughter of Purifoy's wife, you know, whatever, looking at Carly. And then you have Evan looking at Bella. So it's just one big circle of everybody being intertwined with everybody. And then, like, at the end of the night of the charity, they've raised $500,000. And she's Stephanie's mom. I did not catch her name, so I'm just gonna call her Mama Carlisle. You know, she's speaking and just thanking everybody, and then Purifoy walks up on stage, and he's just trying to seem so heartfelt, and, you know, I hope we can get through this awful tragedy and discover the truth about our people overdosing on drugs or whatever. So he offers a check to match that $500,000. So at the end of the night, they've raised $1 million for the charity. So with Amora seeing how Titus and Stephanie interacted with each other, she decided to call her boss back, and now she's taking the case, which is not a good thing, because when you do things off of emotion, it just comes back and bites you in the butt, and that's never good. So then, I mean, we can kind of already tell, but then this, like, last scene, you can tell that Stephanie and Evan are just for show. They're not a real couple. Because, like, as soon as they walk through the door, all that kissing and that they were doing at the event is over. She's like, don't talk to me. He was like, dang, my bad for thinking we could be civil for just, like, 5 minutes. And, you know, they're arguing. He called her weak, pathetic. She only do what daddy tell her to do. You know, she's so predictable. Next thing you know, she done pulled a gun out, holding it to the man's temple. Like, I'm so predictable. Tell me what I'm going to do now. Tell me what my weak, pathetic self is going to do to you now with this loaded gun up to your temple, Evan. So, yeah. And then we end the episode with Rondell appearing to be attacked. Okay. So, I have a problem with
Rondell in this restaurant with her pretending to wipe down these dirty tables with this dry rag as a server. It just irritates my soul. Even if you're act like you're cleaning off the table, because this dry rag which you just wiping down in no restaurant is that okay. None whatsoever. You do not wipe down tables with dry rag. You need to spray it off, sanitize it, and wipe it off for the next person to sit down. It just irritates my soul. Even because there's so many acting things that I see where people do that. If I were to come to your fake restaurant, I'm like, can you like spray this down please before I sit down with my family? This dirty table. And then we see Evan ending up at Bella's house. And that is the end of episode 1 of Ambitions. I hope you guys liked it. Because I was going to say like, comment, and subscribe. So that kind of threw my whole thing off. But anyway, peace.